We all know the guiding light that helps us navigate through the many dangers indoors. It lights our way, highlights important objects, and even after death, it still manages to help us out. It tells us what caused our demise and gives us tips on how to avoid it next time. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the one reviving us when we use the resurrection ability. And also, the guiding light powers the crucifix with its energy, allowing us to use it to banish demons that attack us. But did you know it has its own companions? Welcome to a new video on doors. Besides the guiding light, we can also learn about the curious and, as it turns out, mischievous red light, or the hostile light. Yes, it exists. I never imagined that the guiding light would have a dark alter ego. And it's a mischievous one too. It's like an evil sibling. After the update with the second floor, a lot has changed. And I'm not just talking about the mines. The hotel and the back door have also been altered. Let's find out what our lights are capable of, who they really are, and how many of them exist. Let's start with our longtime friend who has saved us countless times and proven its kindness, the guiding light. A very friendly entity that accompanies us almost everywhere. It now has a distinctive symbol, a crescent moon. Before this, we knew the guiding light as a cluster of stars, and its abilities were quite limited, at least that's how they seemed. It would simply highlight objects for us, show us the way by illuminating doors, and had a few hidden powers. For example, it's the guiding light that closes doors before seek. Now we can clearly see that it's him doing that. Later, the crucifix was added, and the guiding light can charge it with its energy. Without the guiding light, the crucifix is just an empty shell. We also talk to it after death, and I believe the guiding light can even revive players, given we have the chance to do so. Essentially, it's the main benevolent entity that helps us, and it's quite powerful, able to stand against and in some cases, banish hostile entities to hell, or wherever they come from. Among its abilities, we can also mention the candle. At first glance, it seems like a useless item since a flashlight is much better, but sometimes the candle can warn us of a nearby entity by going out. There's a theory that the guiding light is like a local angel, guiding us towards the exit and doing its best to protect us from the demons lurking around. Sometimes, of course, we have to handle things ourselves. But that's the whole point. It helps but doesn't do all the work for you. And by the way, the guiding light, like the other lights, doesn't have an official name. We call it this because that's what the sound files related to the guiding light are named. So in a way, the fans gave the guiding light its name, but then it gets a companion. The curious light is another radiant cluster of energy, but it's yellow. And the curious light differs from the guiding light not just in color, but also in its distinctive symbol. Instead of a crescent moon, it has a star, a yellow star to be exact, which is fitting since that's essentially what it is. It also resides in slightly different areas. First, we encounter it near the secret room's door. In this location, it acts as a messenger of death, simply informing us when we've died. And since it exists in another realm and can appear in the doors, it means the curious light can travel between worlds, something the guiding light cannot do, at least not yet. The curious light also shows up in the back doors, which is a bit unusual since that's essentially a back entrance. So, are we just outside the hotel, or have we already entered it but from the other side? Perhaps the back doors are an entirely different world, hinted at by the portal at the end, which takes us into the hotel itself. It seems that the guiding light is responsible for the hotel and the mines, while the curious light governs other realms with completely different entities and rules. This is evident in the fact that the crucifix cannot be used on these local entities because the curious light doesn't power it. However, it does energize glowing vials that give us some kind of protection, which other entities try to break through. According to the lore, it was the curious light that placed those timed levers, allowing us to get rid of Halt. So, it turns out the curious light is not only a light, but also a mechanic, since it was able to create levers seemingly out of nowhere to help us defeat monsters, especially Halt. It shows just how powerful it is. And yes, it might seem that the curious light is much worse at doing its job compared to the guiding light. His comments when we die are almost useless, basically just saying that we're dead. At the same time, he tries to cheer us up, encouraging us to keep going through the rooms or back doors, which makes his motives confusing. This could also mean that the curious light isn't entirely sure about what happens in the rooms or back doors. Maybe he's not fully aware of what entities reside there, but with each update we see something new added. The curious light also seems to improve, as if learning from its past mistakes, and perhaps its older brother, the guiding light, or even its father, is helping it. That could be the case. Personally, I think of them as brothers, with the curious light being the younger one, learning from its mistakes. Meanwhile, the guiding light is already a more experienced and powerful entity, who is also still learning but is strong enough to stand against other monsters. In comparison, the guiding light looks much more leveled up than the curious one, but now there's a third light, the red light. Who is he? What does he do? What's his purpose? Is he a friend or foe? So many questions, and so few answers. Indeed, there is almost nothing known about him. What is this red light? We don't see him in any location, and he doesn't help us in any way. To be honest, at first, I thought it was some fan-made creation or just a myth. But it turns out, no, red light truly exists. He doesn't have an official name either, but everyone just calls him Red. He's also been given other names like Mischievous, Troublesome Light, or even Evil Light, which clearly indicates that he's our enemy. That means Mischievous Light is an adversary to both Guiding and Curious Lights. He's definitely trying to confuse the player, pretending to be a friend, which he clearly is not. But wait, have you ever encountered red light indoors? Neither have I. However, it is possible to see him there and get to know him better. And here it is. There really is a red light. It's not a bug, and it's not the guiding light suddenly turning as red as a tomato. He's a full-fledged character, and he guards the passage to the secret door, where the curious light is waiting for us, and he simply blocks our way. What a trickster. That's the essence of his mischievous nature. He just prevents us from reaching the secret room. And why is that? Because at this point, we might be using modifiers, and Mischievous Light really hates cheating, no matter what form it takes. By the way, Mischievous Light has already been assigned a symbol in the form of a modifier icon. The modifier icon indoors is actually the symbol of the Mischievous Light, and those who use them know that the guiding light doesn't help us at all during this time. Why should it? You've loaded up your cheats and mods and are just breezing through the game. Having fun, huh? Well, I'll just leave then. Go ahead and laugh now, I won't be helping you anymore. So it turns out that Mischievous Light replaces Guiding Light indoors when we use modifiers. He's there with us, but doesn't help us at all. That's why he's so troublesome. And like a strict security guard, he won't let us pass to the secret door. Unlike his brothers, he doesn't make any sounds, but it's as if he's mentally saying, "Get lost." So he's not really evil. I'm convinced he works hand in hand with the Guiding and Curious Lights. He's just fulfilling his role, though it's also possible to encounter him even without any modifications. Let's recall Seek. Sometimes you can notice a small red glow near him, and in the finale of the second floor, when we flush him away, there's also that red light. It almost hints that the Mischievous Light might be the main villain, or at least that it's helping the monsters, but there's no proof of this yet. I think the Mischievous Light isn't connected to Seek or any other monsters because we already know what it looks like. And it's not just some unusual red glow, though after the Seek chase, you might have noticed a red moon appear for a brief moment, but even if that was the Mischievous Light, it would mean it's actually helping us, though it's probably just a minor glitch. After all, the defining symbol of the Mischievous Light is the modifier icon, so which light did you like the most? Which one seemed the most interesting? Did you know there were 3 of them? Write about it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click the bell to make sure you don't miss new videos, and support this video with a like. See you soon.